Hi, and welcome to Torch Talk. My name is Brandy Miller, and today we have with us Mr. Duke McDonald. Hey, Duke, how are you?
I'm doing mighty fine, mighty fine.
So, introduce yourself and explain what your position is here at Richmond Community College.
All right, my name is Duke McDonald, and I'm the head groundsman here at Richmond Community College. And here at the Richmond Community College, we like to make sure that all the grounds are taken care of. I mean, that's concluding all around each building, around campus. We also take care of the Cole Auditorium. We used to take care of the James building that's across in Hamlet, but right now we're renting that place out. So we still kind of go over there and make sure it's maintained and kept up. We do every now and again go to the Honeycook and look around and make sure everything's taken care of that way as well. There's nothing to do at the Robinette, so that's pretty much well taken care of. But other than that, we like to try to make sure that all the grounds around campus is taken care of, around each building, and just mainly just take care of this mainstream here around the main campus.
Okay. So, knowing that you used to work here when you were younger, what was it like back then?
I started here in the youth program when I was 14. I could not operate any equipment. I couldn't run a weed eater. I couldn't run a mower, anything, because the state policy, all that kind of good stuff. So all I did was pull a water hose and pull weeds all day. The water hose, I watered each flower around campus. I pulled the hose all summer long, and I was a little upset because I see all the other guys using the weed eaters and cutting grass and stuff like that. But when I first started here, when I was 14, that youth program, there was no Grimsley building. No Grimsley building. In that field there, it was only a basketball court. Was a basketball court and a tennis court. And also the Cole Auditorium, I think, was just freshly really done during that time. And trees, a lot of trees everywhere. But other than that, during that time also, Dr. McKinnis, he was the VP during that time. Our Vice President, Brent Barbie, he was in shipping and receiving during that time, and a lot of old faces that's done passed on. I would say this: everything still looked amazing though. Just during that time, it was a lot of water fields to cut, a lot of fields to maintain. Everything was we didn't have to do too much detail work around buildings because there wasn't many buildings. Now we have a lot more buildings. Everything's kind of more prospered now. We have a lot more buildings to maintain now. But then it was just mainly just big fields and everything that we had to really maintain. But other than that, man, it really was still as beautiful as ever. I wouldn't take anything away from it. But other than that, the experience with everything has just been amazing. It's just been amazing.
Okay. So every day you and your team work hard to make the grounds of RichmondCC to look good. Can you explain some of the things that you do to make the campus look beautiful?
Okay, well, I would say, number one, we take everything by season as any other groundsman will do. But what we like to do is we like to make sure that with each season, just say like now, we're coming into late spring. Mm-hmm. Everybody sees that the grass is really green outside. Well, the thing is, we took the initiative back in winter and we planted some ryegrass. And a lot of people would like to say, "Oh, it looks like fake grass," but it's actual perennial ryegrass. And a lot of times with around campus, the different type of grasses that we mainly have around campus is mainly Bermuda. We have some centipede, every little bit of places. Up at the Fort building, this zoysia grass. Up on the trail, it's centipede. So we kind of implement a lot of different grasses, but with Bermuda mainly, we overseed it with the ryegrass, which turns green all through the winter. So that's why it looks luscious and green, because like I said, as other places, you'll see it all dormant and dark, and it looks like it's dead, but it's really not dead. The grass is just dormant. So trying to covering up that dormant look, we generally like to bring in some perennial ryegrass. To kind of like help it keep the greenish look, nice lines and mowing and all that good stuff. So that's why the campus has a lot of green areas. The reason why a lot of those areas are split, some are green, some not, because the contrast. Mm-hmm. That's the beautiful part about nature and the beautiful part about looking at things. You can look at things at a more of a contrasted globe of looking at things, and it looks good together when you have a contrast of really nice green and then contrast of nice clean dormant. So that's one thing that we like to do. We like to take things by season. Here now coming into this late winter, You will see us doing a lot more of here recently. We just fertilized today. That's going to help the perennial ryegrass last through until the warm season grass comes in. Then the perennial grass is going to perennial rye will pretty much dormant out and go darken out. Then you'll see also us putting out pine straw. A lot of people like to see they see the pine straw, it looks good, but see the one thing, the two things we do with pine straw mainly is because number one, aesthetically it looks nice when putting around trees and putting around things like that. It just looks nice. Second thing is it creates a barrier for weeds. That's why we also did the mulch. If you see us putting a lot of mulch out now, the mulch also is a barrier for weeds. If you put enough mulch down, it'll actually suppress the sunlight from hitting the ground when it keeps it from germinating. Therefore, it'll slow up the weeds that you're still gonna have some weeds. Now, I ain't saying it's gonna eliminate all the weeds, but it's gonna eliminate some of the weeds. So in doing that, that's what we do. It helps looks nice when you got nice mulch out as well. Also coming up here, we're going to be doing a lot of, like I said, we still keep the edging and weeding down, still keep the grass very maintained. We wanted to prune back some of the roses, but like I said, the weather, if everybody see now, the weather has really been fluctuating to warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold. Actually, there was a document that North Carolina State sent out from the TCNC Corporation that they said that everybody around in the Carolinas in general are dealing with bad weed problems, only because that the temperature of the ground has been fluctuating to cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. So none of the plants that everybody's saying now are really supposed to be blooming as quickly as now. But because it was so warm earlier in winter, all of the plants and all things are now blooming and everything, and everything's kind of confused. But still in all, everything is doing well. In addition, I'll say if there is going to be any plants that everybody will see right now, I'll say starting out, back in winter, we planted some bulbs that was daffodils. So some of the yellow daffodils you see around campus, those are daffodils. Those come up during now. Kind of helps. A lot of people like to use tulips. Tulips are very nice. I really love tulips. And I kind of wanted to do tulips too, but I'm going to find a good spot for some tulips. I ain't going to just give that away where I'm going to put them there. But I just wanted to be splashed out whenever everybody gets a chance to see them. They're beautiful together. I say let's start from the front steps. When you're coming up the front steps of main campus, toward the flagpole, you'll see a lot of pink bushes. They look like little bitty, nice little fine flowers on them. Those are laurel petalums. They're gonna be blooming this time of the year. They're really nice. They're evergreens. They stay in shape and they stay green all year long. You see us, we cut back a lot of the grasses that's around on the waterway, around on the hillside there, refreshed all of that. And as you walk up those steps, passing the flagpole, you'll see an area when you get to the clock, and we call that the perennial bed. That's alongside the LP building. And in that perennial bed, there's all types of flowers in there that we really love. A lot of them that's blooming now, they're really low. They're called phlox. And a lot of people like to say flux, but they're really nice plants. They're hardy, dependable. They always bloom. They bloom several times throughout the year. They always come back. They're really good. Another thing you guys will see blooming a lot here is what's springing up really. Also is, let me see here, going down that bed, the purple secretions are coming out. There's a really, really nice purple plant. Further along going down, some of the other things are not really popping just yet. Most of it is mainly just bushes. We have a beauty bush in there. We have some butterfly bushes in there that's doing some things. The irises in there doing really well. We have some white, we have some pink, and some purple irises in there as well. They're doing really good. As you progress, I say around to the back commons where the patio is and the cafe is. A lot of those things, I would say in the planters, we still have the violas, but coming up soon, we will be transplanting. Now, I'm not gonna say what we're gonna put in there yet because I don't want to give it away. I like for everybody to see them when we put them in, so I'm not gonna give out away what we're gonna put in the planters just yet. We're gonna have those in there. The daylilies that we have are all springing back. They're going to be coming up, and I'm going to be throwing some nice juice to them after a while to get them popping really good for the springtime. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know as well is about the campus is we have this one bush that smells really, really good. I don't know if many people have smelled it before, but if you're coming down from the Grimsley lot, on the amphitheater side, walking down toward the Condor building, you'll smell a sweet fragrance. And that sweet fragrance is an osmanthus. The osmanthus bush is right there beside the walkway. Whenever you come in, it's right there by the trash can, so it kind of breaks up that if there's any smell coming from it. But it's right there by the trash can there on the corner that goes over towards the right on the side of the north side of the nursing building. But it's called an osmanthus. It gives a great fragrance. It smells like women's perfume. It's so nice. And it's the little buds that come on, the flower buds that come on them. They smell so good. And actually, there's a bigger osmanthus on the corner of the north side of the corner of the nursing building. So I will give you this a good little Easter egg is that here coming up, I'm going to be trying to implement a lot of fragrance plants around campus because I've done a recent study here about how fragrances approach people's character and how they feel. And most of the time, I'll say give you a wonderful comparison. When you go by some a bad smelling dumpster or landfill somewhere, you're like, oh man, what is going on here? But whenever you go, let's say you go smell a nice fragrance of cologne, or you go to a Cato's or J.C. Penney's, and you walk in these places and you smell these wonderful fragrances, you're like, man, it smells good in here. You know, same thing when you're cooking a nice meal and you say, man, it smells good. It makes you feel good. So what we're looking to implement is bringing a lot of those fragrance plants around the campus, putting them in different areas. So when the students do walk around, go into their classroom, let's just say if they wasn't having a good morning, they smell this nice fragrance, and all of a sudden it might not change their whole personality, but it makes them feel a lot better on the inside once you smell things on the inside. So my favorite thing about looking at the campus is I call it the front of the house. It's the front of the house. It's the first thing people see when they pull in. It's the last thing people see when they're leaving out. So I like to think about it. If I want people to have a good impression, just say if you go anywhere, or if you go on your vacation and you pull up at a hotel and the outside looking bummy, inside may be nice, may look like a mansion on the inside, but if the outside not looking good, you're gonna already have your own opinion about that place before you even enter the door. So that's how I feel. I feel like if you give a wonderful presentation on the outside, it'll set the stage of what's going to happen on the inside. But that's my mindset about our campus.
No, that's good because the campus looks really nice, and it's a nice feeling. I always get compliments on it. They're like, y'all's campus looks really nice, or it looks super beautiful. I'm like, well, our groundskeepers do a great job year round, not seasonally, year around to make sure it looks good. So is there anything else that you want to add or to let people know?
Well, I would say this, hopefully coming up, like I said, we got a lot of good things happening on the grounds. If there's anything, I would say I had an idea to myself. I don't know if it would be overbearing or not, but I was looking to do my own little RCC all. That will be something like this season for RCC, or spring season, or fall season at RCC, and I will give different things that we will be doing on the ground. So when people like to do things in their own yard, I can give recommendations on things they can do for their own yards, or they can see what we're doing out here that will help them at their own time. Or things of that nature. But that was just an idea that I had. Maybe send out RCC this spring at RCC grounds, something like that. Because like I said, and me going around, I'm always curious about plants. I love plants, and I'll say originally I was supposed to be either an artist or an IT person. My mother wanted me to be IT. But when I actually came out here when I was 14, I got ruined, and I was like, man, I love that being outside. And she was like, no, you don't need to be on the outside. You need to be working on the inside. But I fell in love with just outdoors in general, and it was because of Danny Timms and the Groundskeeper that was here before me, before I came in. Danny Timms and Wilbur Miller. It was just them two when I first came, and they really impact me a lot. when it came to just showing me the ropes of how important I would say it is to keeping up the outdoors and keeping up the outside of the buildings and things of that nature. But I would say that I really look forward to adding a lot of new things here on the campus, keeping everything maintained, and also, like I said, a lot of the things I'm thinking about doing that I'm hoping that's going to be really wonderful to do coming up. Like I said, I don't want to give too many hints. I'm kind of leaning forward. I don't want to say it, but I'm hoping that with the things that is coming up, that's going to be looking really nice. I mean, even with everything going on now, but everything so far has been really on schedule, I would say. The grounds has been doing good. Me and the guys, we've been trying to make sure we stay on schedule, because a lot of people don't realize, but a lot of times when they see us pushing a lot and running a lot, really hard, we try to stay pretty steady. But when you see us moving really hard, that means we got our window for that season for what we're doing is getting ready to close. And we have so many things to do, and that's why we always stay constant. And like I say, and I would say this, a lot of times in the morning time, our regular schedule, we're here. When we get here the first thing in the morning, we always walk around and we get all the trash up around campus and everything of that nature. So that's why a lot of times when people come in, they say, man, this place stays clean. Well, we be picking up every bit of trash around this campus from the front entrance all the way around. So we really try our hardest. And sometimes when we're leaving, I'll see a bag and I'm like, oh man, I'll pull up on the side, I'll try to grab that bag or whatever. But we like to try to make sure, if I take pride in my own house or in my own personal items or what I like to do, then I don't want to just hinder myself from doing that at my workplace. I would like to take that same pride in the same place. So that's why anything that I do, anything I put forth an effort in, I like to make sure that I'm steadfast on it, and I want to make sure it's done right, and everything of that nature. But like I said, I'll end everything with my motto: rain, sleet, or snow, the grounds is on the go.
All right, now that's a wonderful closing. So, dude, it has been a pleasure to have you on our show, and we look forward to seeing you again. And
yes.
I'm ready to go outside and see what else it looks.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you. This is Brandy, and this is Torch Talk. Y'all have a great day.